For 40 minutes, Brazil looked exactly like the team everyone expected to see. Calm, confident, in control. The yellow shirts moved the ball with ease, the crowd relaxed. The commentators began talking about Brazil's path through the tournament. Everything felt familiar. Then Morocco changed the script. And for the next 50 minutes, one of football's biggest giants found itself trapped inside a battle it never expected. When the final whistle blew, the scoreboard showed Brazil won, Morocco won. But that score doesn't explain why Brazilian fans left the stadium frustrated while Moroccan supporters celebrated as if they had won the match. Because this wasn't just a draw, this was a warning. A warning that reputation means nothing at the World Cup, and a reminder that Morocco are no longer football's surprise package. They're a genuine threat. Before kickoff, the narrative seemed obvious. Brazil entered the tournament carrying enormous expectations. 5 World Cup titles, a squad packed with stars, a nation that expects nothing less than excellence. Morocco arrived with respect but not fear. That's what made them dangerous. Most teams spend 90 minutes trying not to lose against Brazil. Morocco spent 90 minutes trying to prove they belonged on the same pitch. And that mindset changed everything. The opening 15 minutes followed the script everyone expected. Brazil dominated possession. The passing was sharp. The movement was fluid. Every attack looked dangerous. Morocco could barely keep the ball. At one point, it felt less like a football match and more like a training exercise. Brazil were moving Morocco from side to side. The midfield controlled the rhythm. The attackers found space between the lines. Everything pointed toward an early breakthrough. Then it happened. A brilliant Brazilian move sliced through the Moroccan defense. One quick pass became 2. 2 became 3. Suddenly the defense was exposed. The finish was ruthless. One touch, one strike, one goal. Brazil were ahead. The crowd erupted. The players celebrated. And most people watching believed the match was about to become comfortable. But football rarely follows expectations. Instead of collapsing, Morocco responded with something far more dangerous: belief. The goal woke them up. The pressure disappeared. The fear vanished. And suddenly Morocco started playing football. Not survival football, not defensive football, actual attacking football. The midfield stopped retreating. The defenders stepped forward. The forwards started running directly at Brazil. And for the first time in the match, Brazil looked uncomfortable. The shift was subtle at first. A dangerous counterattack, a promising cross, a shot that narrowly missed the target, small moments, but enough to change the energy. Brazil still had the lead, yet something felt different, something was changing. The first half ended with Brazil ahead, but the scoreline was hiding a problem. The longer the match continued, the stronger Morocco looked, and everyone inside the stadium could feel it. The second half began exactly where the first had ended. Morocco attacking, Brazil reacting. Nobody expected that, certainly not Brazil. The team that normally dictates matches was now defending longer periods without possession. The midfield that controlled everything earlier suddenly looked vulnerable. Passes that seemed effortless in the first half became difficult. The rhythm disappeared. The confidence faded, and Morocco sensed weakness. This is what separates good teams from dangerous teams. Dangerous teams recognize opportunities. Morocco recognized one. They realized Brazil could be hurt, and once they discovered that, there was no turning back. Every attack carried more purpose. Every challenge carried more intensity. Every minute increased the pressure. Then came the moment that changed everything. A quick transition caught Brazil out of position. The ball moved through midfield with speed. The defense scrambled, space opened, the opportunity appeared, and Morocco struck. The finish was perfect. The goalkeeper had no chance. The stadium fell silent. The Moroccan bench exploded. The score was level. And suddenly the impossible felt possible. The goal wasn't shocking because Morocco scored. It was shocking because of how deserved it felt. For nearly 20 minutes they had been the better team. For nearly 20 minutes they had controlled the momentum. The equalizer wasn't luck, it was earned. Now Brazil had a decision to make: fight back or panic. For a few minutes they looked dangerously close to choosing the second option. The passes became rushed, the attacks became predictable, players started forcing things. The composure that defined the first half had disappeared. Morocco, meanwhile, looked fearless. Every counterattack carried danger. Every forward run terrified the Brazilian defense. And for the first time all night, it looked like Morocco were the team more likely to score. Think about that for a moment. Brazil, five-time world champions, tournament favorites. And yet with 20 minutes remaining, Morocco looked more dangerous. That's the hidden story of this match. Not the draw, not the goals, the shift in belief. One team lost it, one team found it. The final 20 minutes became chaos. Brazil threw players forward. Morocco attacked every opportunity. The game stretched. Spaces appeared everywhere. The crowd sensed drama. Every attack felt like it could decide the match. One Brazilian chance flew inches wide. A Moroccan counterattack nearly produced one of the biggest shocks of the tournament. Goalkeepers made saves. Defenders made desperate clearances. Midfielders covered impossible distances. It was no longer a tactical battle. It was survival. And somehow neither team found the winner. When the final whistle arrived, the reactions told the entire story. The Moroccan players celebrated. The Brazilian players looked disappointed. That's how you know who really won the psychological battle. Officially, it was a draw. Emotionally, it felt very different. For Morocco, this result sends a message to the entire tournament. They are not here to participate. They are not here to make up the numbers. And they are certainly not intimidated by football's traditional powers. This team believes, and belief is a dangerous weapon at a World Cup. For Brazil, the questions begin immediately. Can they handle teams that press aggressively? Can they maintain control when momentum shifts? Can they respond when opponents stop fearing them? Those questions don't need answers yet, but they will soon. Because the rest of Group C just watched Morocco expose something. Not a tactical weakness, not a defensive weakness, a psychological weakness. For 40 minutes, Brazil looked unbeatable. For the next 50, they looked human. And at the World Cup, that's sometimes all an underdog needs. One moment, one opportunity, one sign of vulnerability. Morocco found all three. And because of that, what was supposed to be Brazil's opening statement became Morocco's. The tournament has only just begun. But one thing is already clear. Brazil still have work to do. And Morocco have just reminded the football world that they are capable of ruining anybody's plans.